Hey everybody, welcome back to the excavation of Hobbs Barrow. And last time we were setting up a crew. We're kind of on a fetch quest.
There's something ahead on the road.
And they were saying that the milkman was missing. We ended up getting goat's milk, which was part of the fetch quest. And we met...
My God! Mr. Ambrose! I'm going to help you.
That's kind of screwed up. Guess there's more pressing matters than a recap right now.
Please hold still. I'm going to cut you free. He had been so tightly bound that I could barely cut through without hurting him further. His mouth was stuffed full of flowers of a most peculiar scent. I was dismayed at such savagery and wondered if the feral folk Father Roach had mentioned were responsible for this abhorrent act. After some considerable effort, I managed to cut him free. Are you all right?
Who were lost in visions of hell itself, the devil. I saw the devil.
Who did this to you?
I don't remember. Oh, the terrible sights I saw. I won't forget them till my last breath.
Are you Mr. Ambrose?
Yes, Edward Ambrose.
You were to meet Miss Tompkins today.
My love. Oh, my darling love.
Let me take you to her. Here, take my hand. As we made the arduous trek to Panswick Manor, I probed Mr. Ambrose on who had done this to him. He insisted that he didn't remember anything, except for his nightmarish visions.
My love.
Eddie! Jesus, what happened to you? Were you in a fight?
Now, fret not, my love.
I thought you'd abandoned me.
Never. Thank your friend here for helping me out of a bind.
Oh, Eddie!
Let's get out of here, my darling.
Hang on.
You thieving bint! I'll have your guts for garters!
Oh, stick it where the sun don't shine, you bitter old sow!
Those were some major curses back then.
The cheek!
Here you are, Mum.
Thank you, Miss Tompkins.
No, thank you for finding my poor Eddie.
Aye, thank you, lass.
Let's go, Eddie. I'm never setting foot on this God-forsaken estate again.
Good luck, you two.
Alright. We saved the milkman, so that's good. So now we need to continue trying to get out to secure a crew. Which was also getting the flower was part of it. I clicked the wrong thing there. Okay. We go to the church.
I have something for you.
You found them? Oh, you dear child. Let's take them straight to Albert. You'll come with me, won't you?
Of course, Mrs. Duplancy.
So these were his favorite flowers, and then she'll give us pastries to give to Lord Panswick.
You know, the things I miss most about him are the things that used to annoy me. The click of his jaw as he chewed his sandwiches, leaving his tools all around the house. The way he'd never back down from an argument. He's just quiet at home now. Silence. The funny thing is, that's what he always craved. Peace and quiet. He were a good man, our Albert.
Sounds like he was. I'm so sorry.
Do you fear death, pet?
Not at all. I dare say I won't be around to know it's happened.
But what of heaven and hell?
Life is for living, not for worrying about what comes after.
Albert didn't fear death either. You're both braver than I am.
It's not bravery, it's just trying to make the most of what we have in the present. One can neither live in the future, nor the past.
I fear it, but my faith keeps me going. I know I'll meet him again, in heaven.
Take that thought forward, Mrs. Duplancy. Remember it. One day, you will be reunited.
Thank you. Oh, those flowers look beautiful.
They do.
Albert will be smiling down on us. Pet, I left me basket inside the church. You'll find some Bakewell puddings in there. You can have them.
Oh, you...
I insist. You've brought an ounce of happiness into my day, dear. It's only just that I return some.
Thank you, Mrs. Duplancy.
To be truthful with you, I was saving them for myself. I shouldn't be so selfish. Lord forgive me.
You're nothing of the sort.
I'll stay here with Albert a bit longer. You go back to your day, Pet. Lord be with you.
And you, Mrs. Duplancy.
Okay. Gotta go grab those puddings for Lord Panswick. He has a sweet tooth.
Here they are.
Exit before I can fast travel. What is this, a Bethesda game? I think I already made that joke. I've been playing Fallout 4 recently, so...
The vision returns.
I come bearing gifts.
Freshly baked gifts?
Yes. 3 of Mrs. Duplancy's famous Bakewell puddings.
Oh, you are an amusing creature, Thomasina.
What do you mean?
You must think me a scoundrel of the highest order for asking you to undertake such folly. Of course, I would have lent you my men either way. I merely desired an excuse to share a cake with you.
Lord Panswick.
I take no pleasure in watching you scurry about Bewley to fulfill my every whim.
Yeah, you
Or
sounded
do I?
in love.
I do not find this amusing in the slightest. You have no idea what I had to go through to get these for you.
Oh, I do. And that's what I admire about you. Tenacity. Even in the face of something you know to be absurd. You don't give up, do you?
Never. Though in this case, I ought to have.
Now then, will you share one of these tempting confections with me?
Now is not the time, Lord Panswick.
You disappoint me. It would seem you don't find the rain quite as romantic as I do. Perhaps tomorrow, after your triumphant excavation of Hobbs Barrow.
Perhaps.
I hope staleness doesn't descend upon them in the meantime. Still, my word is my bond. Come with me to the chapel. I shall inform the chaps of their duties.
Thank you.
Chaps, listen up. You're to assist Miss Bateman's excavation tomorrow. What time, Miss Bateman?
Early morning, if you don't mind.
We'll be there whenever you need us, miss.
Hobbs Barrow. On the Bryden estate, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll be there.
Take your tools with you. Miss Bateman will need every assistance we can provide her with.
It's no bother.
Splendid.
Thank you, lads.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll see you later, my dear.
Thank you, Lord Panswick.
We're finishing up here, miss. See you tomorrow morning, all right?
Certainly. I appreciate your help. Well, that's a relief to have my crew assembled for tomorrow. It's getting dark and cold. Time to head back to the plough and furrow.
Evening, Miss Bateman.
Good evening, Stanley.
Your lordship,
Stanley, my good man.
to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, your lordship?
I've come to wish Miss Bateman good fortune for her grand excavation tomorrow. I'm really rather curious as to what she might turn up.
As am I, your lordship.
An exciting time for Bewley. Wouldn't you agree, Stanley?
Oh, yes, your lordship. Very, very exciting.
My dear, please, allow me the pleasure of buying you a drink. A welcome antidote to the wind's bite. Wouldn't you say, Stanley?
Yes, indeed, your lordship.
Why not?
Splendid. You heard the fair lady.
He's trying so hard, I might as well
There you are.
get a
Thank
free
you.
drink out of it.
Everyone, raise your glasses to Miss Bateman. May she conquer Hobbs Barrow and find all that she desires. Hip hip!
Hooray!
You don't wish to join me in a beverage?
Oh, you go ahead, my dear. Alcohol does not sit well with my constitution.
Thank you, your lordship. I needed that.
I aim to provide you with whatever your heart desires. I've reminded my chaps they're to meet you at Hobbs Barrow in the morning.
Thank you again, Lord Panswick.
Till we meet again, faites des beaux rêves. Mr. Shoulder?
Your lordship?
Hello again, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman?
I've recruited the help of some local labourers to help with the excavation.
Marvellous. When do we start?
Tomorrow morning, first thing.
Wonderful.
Can I count on your assistance?
Of course. I'll meet you here at the Plough and Furrow.
What else can you tell me about this Sax knot?
Try not to worry yourself too much with these old stories. Leave those to the locals, Miss Bateman.
Have others spoken of goblins appearing in their dreams?
A dream is a dream, that is all. They merely make for good stories.
I know.
But to answer your question, no, not to my knowledge.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sure the locals have filled you in already, lass.
You cut quite the mysterious figure. Most had little to say.
It's true, I do tend to keep my head down. When one gets to my age, one grows very comfortable in one's home. I like the isolation of the moors. I wouldn't change it for anything.
I take it you don't get many visitors.
Oh, no. Nobody bothers me. That's the perk of living so far out, huh? Just me and me hens. I used to come into Bewley more often, back before my health went to bugger, eh?
What do you think of Bewley?
Whilst one could consider the villages to be rather unenlightened, this place has its charm. The market's in town today. You can see that folk want fun out here.
Is there anything else I should know about Hobbs Barrow, Mr. Shoulder?
No, lass. I'm certain we will know a lot more about it by this time tomorrow.
I hope so. What else can you tell me about the previous excavation?
I think I covered it earlier, Miss Bateman. As you yourself said, it were a time of superstitious hysteria.
What was it like, living in that period of hysteria?
I kept to myself. It didn't really affect me. My hens stayed healthy and their eggs kept me well fed. If one can keep a level head in such situations, one can get by.
Indeed. Is there anything else I should be aware of before my own excavation? No other ghouls I should be worried about?
You know the answer to that. The corruption in that soil were all in the minds of men.
What do you make of Lord Panswick?
His lordship is an important man in Bewley, as I'm sure you have gathered. His family has commanded much respect here for many generations.
Do you respect him as a leader?
I do. He wants the best for the village. Without his influence, the railway line would have never come through here.
Does he want more visitors?
Aye, I believe so. He has great ambitions for Bewley and wants to share them with the world.
What do you make of Mildred Walker?
Who?
I believe she's also known as Mother Mildred.
Oh, We used to get about when we were children. Our paths have not crossed in a long while.
What do you think of Charles Bryden?
He is a decent man. It must have been hard for him after that terrible business with his brother.
Without a doubt. I must say I had assumed you had at least spoken to him about my visit.
Sorry, lass. I had no intention of giving you the runaround. Again, I can only apologize.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the nature of your ongoing illness?
Oh, just the ravages of age. Getting off this bench will be a small battle in itself. Something you won't need to worry about for many a year, Miss Bateman.
Growing old is a blessing and a curse. And what of your recent fever?
An ordeal it were. So much tossing and turning. But I'm right as rain now, especially after a mug of ale. Don't worry about me.
What are Lord Panswick's plans for Bewley?
He's rebuilding an old chapel on his estate. He seeks to bring God back to these lands.
But what of St. Edmunds? I think Father Roach might argue God has never left.
Indeed. Let's leave such arguments to them, shall we?
Thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Bateman. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
You've changed your tunes, Stanley. An exciting time for Bewley. I thought you didn't want me to excavate Hobbs Barrow.
Well, what can I get you?
I've had some rather unbelievable news, Stanley.
Oh? Remarkable.
Quite the coincidence, is it not?
Remarkable. Just remarkable.
Do you recall my father from back then?
I'm afraid not. Those were my droving days, you see. I didn't spend much time in Bewley, but an interesting turn of events nonetheless.
What do you know of Mother Mildred?
I'll tell you what I know about Mother Mildred. She wants locking up.
How so?
She owes me a small fortune on her tab from years ago. Do remind her next time you see her, won't you?
I'd rather not get involved, if you don't mind.
Be careful who you trust, Miss Bateman.
Does the name Saxnot mean anything to you?
No, I can't say it does.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Hello there.
Yes?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Ted? Ted Cross?
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
Are you a local, Mr. Cross?
Oh no, I'm just passing through. I'm a musician. Just myself, me guitar and me horse.
Are you a travelling musician?
Aye. I've been playing a new song tonight. I've just finished the lyrics.
What's it about?
You'll have to come listen.
Is that your horse stationed in the alley?
Aye. Thistlecrack is her name.
That's an unusual name for a horse.
Aye. It were what she were called when I bought her. Glutton would be a better name. She likes her treats. But it feels wrong to change it.
What do you make of Bewley?
Can't say that I know much about this place. I don't usually travel this far south.
I see. Have you heard of a place called Hobbs Barrow?
Can't say I have, miss. What is it?
Never mind. Thank you for your time.
Make sure you watch my performance later, won't you?
I'll try. I'll leave those two to their conversation.
Thomasina,
Arthur?
I've remembered something.
What is it, Arthur?
Not here. Meet me outside, in the alley.
He's stinking drunk, but let's hear what he has to say. What is it?
First of all, I must apologize to you. That night we met, when I vanished.
Yes?
Well, there were a man in the loo. A hooded man. He threatened me with a beating if I told you anything about what I saw.
Oh, Arthur, that's terrible. What did you see?
That's the thing. I hadn't the foggiest idea what he were on about. It was a drink, you see. I'm an embarrassment, Thomasina.
No, you're not, Arthur.
Here's what I need to tell you.
A little bit.
I've remembered what he were on about.
Oh?
Aye, standing in the woods today, I knew there was something. I waited, I concentrated, and it finally came back to me.
Please, you're keeping me in some serious suspense here.
All right. It were a couple of days before I met you.
Hurry now, Leonard.
I'm not as quick as I used to be. This leg is getting worse by the day.
Yes. I'm constantly made aware of your failing health. Do not fear. You said he has promised you the reward of your returned strength.
Aye, and it can't come soon enough.
Are you sure that it must be her blood?
Aye, she's family.
And she gets here in 2 days?
Aye.
We must bring her to the site as soon as she arrives.
No. Your lordship, with all due respect, we've been through this. We need to ease her into the idea. She would laugh in our faces if we just asked for it.
Who said we would ask?
He told me that she needs to give it willingly.
This little scheme of yours better work, Leonard.
It will, your lordship. We've got the perfect bait.
Wait. Who goes there? Did you hear something? Ah, a moonlight tryst. After something, are you, Mr. Tillett?
Your lordship, let me...
Save your words, you drunken wretch. Off you go, skedaddle. Don't make me ask twice. I do wish you wouldn't spend so much time with that fool. It's beneath a woman of your standard. It's sad, really. That dog urine they serve here has rather pickled the man's brain.
You're being most unfair to him. Mr. Tillett is a nice man.
Come now. I shall bid thee adieu once more, for I do not wish for this to come between us. All the very best wishes for your excavation tomorrow, my dear.
Thanks.
So they want her blood, huh? Well, looks like we're meeting with Saxnod again.
So, Thomasina, the journal proves I'm telling you the truth, does it not?
It does.
Good. Now listen. I can help him again. We can help him. Together.
How?
All those years ago, your father entered this barrow with the goal of binding me within it. All because the people of Bewley had gotten it into their heads that Saxnot were cause of their plight. I tell you, Thomasina, I were not. Your father botched his incantation, leaving me in this weakened state, stuck in this limbo. As for him, well, you know how he ended up.
This doesn't sound right. Incantations. My father is, a man of...
You don't know your father, Thomasina. How old were you? A child of not even 5, 6 years? You need to enter this barrow and undo what your father did. The spell must be undone. Then not only will I regain my strength, but your father will too.
But how do I...
Blood. The truest symbol of life and death. It's the life which flows within you, but it's also death once it escapes.
I don't understand.
Worry not how you'll undo what's been done. When the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do. Time is short. Your father and I grow weaker by the hour. Go. Save your father.
Oh, this is it. It's all building up to this.
I must undo what has been done. Father, I'm coming. Good morning. Stanley?
Ah, Miss Bateman. Mr. Shoulder left a note for you.
Thank you, Stanley.
Miss Bateman, meet me at home as soon as you read this. There is no time to waste, Leonard.
Oh, there were a key with it too.
Mr. Shoulder's acting weird again.
Miss Bateman, I beg you, in the name of God, leave this town.
Father Roach, what is the meaning of this?
There's nowt for you here, lass. Clear off.
I beg you, Miss Bateman.
Father Roche, Mr. Farnaby, here to wish Miss Bateman good luck for her excavation, gentlemen.
Am I heck?
Mr. Kemp, you know...
An excavation strongly supported by Lord Panswick, no less.
I wish you well with your findings, Miss Bateman. May the Lord strengthen you and guard you from the evil one.
Yeah, little children, guard yourselves from idols.
Good luck, Miss Bateman.
Thank you.
fast travel available. Guess I have to just get accosted by villagers on my way. I gotta remember how to get to Mr. Shoulder's cottage.
I must make haste to...
This is not that way. I think it's this way.
I must make haste.
No. Just let me fast travel and I won't have to remember.
I must make haste to...
And, like...
I must make...
Why am I letting me go here? Alright, we can go this way.
Douglas? It's just a toy. It's no use to me.
Might need a weapon. Don't want to get attacked by a goblin. Alright, here we are.
Mr. Shoulder! What's this? A box. It's locked. Mr. Shoulder, I got your note. Explain yourself. Curses. The key fits. Another one of these peculiar stones. Wait, does this mean Mr. Shoulder was the third man on my father's excavation? There's a note underneath.
My heart is his heart, my light is his light.
I've no desire to love... I've no...
Oh, wait a minute. There's something I want to do.
Margaret's Lookout. Dedicated to Arthur's mother.
Let's have a moment of silence for Arthur's mother. Alright, that's new.
Thank you for braving the weather.
Aye, miss. A little rain is no bother. So, may we start?
Yes, we've not a moment to waste. And so, the excavation of Hobbs Barrow began. Horace and his men learnt quickly and went about their work with care. We toiled for hours, rolling away great stones, removing mortar and masonry put in place by Father Mr. They had gone to great lengths to seal the barrow. I should have realized their efforts were not only to keep us out, but also to keep something contained within. Eventually, our careful application of pick, trowel, and shovel gave way to open space. A stagnant, cadaverous odour was let forth. The seal was broken. I couldn't believe my eyes. Splendid work, all of you.
Step inside, miss. We'll be right behind you.
Thank you, Horace. I can't wait a moment longer. Flowers? I can't get my head around this. How could they possibly grow here? Horace, come see this.
The flowers that were on the guy's...
Horace!
That was tied up. Well, we're gonna have to wait a little longer to explore Hobbs Barrow. We're gonna have more of this on Saturday, and more Little Nightmares tomorrow. Then we have Sea of Stars on Wednesday. That's actually getting into a spookier part of the game, so I'm gonna keep playing that at least for this week. So we'll have that on Wednesday, and Thursday more Little Nightmares. Then Friday more Sea of Stars. Then we'll have probably the finale of this on Saturday. I can't imagine it lasting too much longer, but so it'll most likely be the finale. So hopefully everyone's enjoying, and hope you have a great week, and we will catch you next time. Later.